But you can see these plants here, just to give you an idea. The fruited plant, you can see the leaves started turning yellow. This little fruit, and then we'll go through and cut that plant out, and this is next year's fruit.
This is, oh, okay.
So that'll produce next year.
Well, I was wondering because I saw that and it didn't have any real...
Yeah, it's like it's just run out of life.
Uh-huh. So you'll eventually cut all of that out.
You'll go right to the bottom, cut
And
that.
snip it off.
Yeah, I don't want to grab that because all the thorns on it.
Yeah.
You know, but you'll cut that out, you'll pull it right out, throw it in the middle, and we'll mow over it a couple times, chew it up, and we'll be left with a clean field that looks like this. And right here you can see we topped that.
Uh-huh.
This was growing straight up with no branches like this one here did.
Yeah.
We'll cut it off here. It shoots more side branches to give us more fruit. So,
And this is raspberries.
black raspberries.
Black raspberries.
These have been out in the sun too long, but basically that's what they're picking. And you can tell what's ready and what's not ready. If you give it a little tug and it comes off, that's ready to go. If you get one that's not ready, see how that's kind of color-wise is different?
Mm-hmm.
But you give that a tug and it doesn't come off. For the most part, I mean, all we grow, it's all drip irrigation underneath the plastic. There's a water line underneath there. So we are coming out of an irrigation pond, 13-acre pond off that way, pumping it to all of our plants. So it's not like dirty water is hitting the leaves, hitting the fruit that you're eating. You know, it's being absorbed up through the roots. So for the most part, we're fine.
Yeah, which is great.
You know, when you get into the overhead sprinkling and that water is landing on the fruit, that's a different scenario.
When you pick the fruit, do you wash it?
No.
It just gets straight put on the truck and hauled?
We cool it. If we were to wash it, there's an issue of trying to get it dry fast enough. Like with raspberries,
They mold.
they mold so bad. And here's a good spot to show you the Japanese beetles. Let's see, they're in there having a party.
So what do you do to get rid of those?
Well, there's a couple options. If it's not too bad, you can collect them in a cup. But when you have this many acres, that's not practical.
Mm-mm.
So when we get to the point where I can't stand it any longer, or the fruit is all picked off, you know, we'll probably pick this. Probably next week we'll be done with yellow raspberries. And at that point, I'd come in with an insecticide and do away with them.
Because you wouldn't want to do it now when
No.
you're going to be picking.
No, we never. There are times that we have to go in while we're picking to spray. But we always follow the label, and I always give it an extra day. The label will tell me we use the safest stuff for everybody, myself, but everybody, our customers, everybody. But if I have to come in and spray, the label will say, hey, you got to stay out. You can't pick anything from 12 to, depending on the material, 12 to 24 hours. We always go one more day. Try to go out that extra day just to make sure. It's a safety thing.
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't like using the pesticides. Nobody likes using the pesticides, but we also, if we don't, you can see what happens. You know, you end up with plants that aren't gonna produce what it should be producing.
And when they do cut holes in it like that, I mean, does that affect the growth of the fruit off of it?
No, because it's already fruited. I mean, this is this year's plant. Same thing with these as the raspberries. We go through anything that's fruited this year gets cut out. This is next year's fruit.
Okay, so you don't really want him destroying next year's
No.
crop.
Nope.
Got it.
Again, we do minimum spray. It gets to the point where I can't stand it any longer. You know, if this leaf was 3/4 gone, that would be the point where I say I've got to do something. And we have had to go in and put on a material, and the fruit gets too soft from being out in the sun because of the time frame you have to wait. The fruit sits there and rots. We don't pick it. You can't do anything with it.
So it's a matter of timing it just right as well.
Time management and, you know, looking at the crop, seeing where we're at, and nobody likes pesticides, myself included, but you can see there's an instance that we would have to use it. But again, any of the fields that the public's in haven't been sprayed. I'm to the point right now where I'm going to say we've got to take care of that crop. We've got to close for 4 or 5 days. And customers get mad, but for their safety, you know, there's crops up there that aren't ready to pick that the people still go in and pick stuff that's unripe, and I still won't go in and spray it because there's a chance of people going in that field. I've got yellow caution tape up on blackberries up there that aren't going to be ready for another week. They've been picking them all week long.
Oh my.
So I can't go into there in good conscience and say I'm going to spray this and people are going to stay away. No, it doesn't happen. They want the blackberries, they're going to go in there. So it's to the point where when I get to that point, nobody comes down below the store, and we'll take care of what we need to go to and then open it back up afterwards. So just for safety.